Namaste everyone. So I need to give a correction video and I'm not entirely sure how one does that because this is my first correction video of sorts. While back I recorded a video on the Rudraksha mala. I had shown how I string my Rudraksha mala and it can easily be done by anyone, and also how to put this Adiyogi Rudraksha bead onto your mala. So yeah, just ignore it, it's a bit messy stuff right now. So anyway, how to put the Adiyogi bead with the Rudraksha. Okay, so yeah, I got a really good idea and I think this is really gonna work. You know what I did? I took one of these buttons. Let me show you. I don't know if it will zoom in or I'll show a photo to you. I took one of these and these are those push button types that we have in and if you see, they have 4 little holes at the side. So I had the 4 strands. I just passed each of the strands through each of these 4 holes and I knotted them to all the strands to each other. So finally it's come out so well. There's a little button on top of the Rudraksha. I don't know how to go. I guess now here only you see, and all these ropes are knotted with each other, so it's quite sturdy. It's not going to slip out. I think so. It's good. So what I had done was I had put a button on top of the Adiyogi Rudraksha bead to kind of keep it part of the mala. But the problem was, what I didn't realize at the time, steel button which I used, it was, I never imagined, but the insides of the button was sharp, very very sharp. So within like I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it cut through the threads and the entire thing started coming out. It was very strange because I didn't see why it should happen. I have stringed my Rudraksha mala so often and it never, within 2-3 weeks, never any problem will happen. So so then I checked that steel button thing. I put another thread through it and I tried to cut it and I realized that the insides of that steel button is very very sharp. So anyway, I had no option but to redo the mala. So I redid the mala and I wanted to still check the experiment that whether just putting a button on top, whether it works or not. And so what I did was I just took any button which was there in my needle box, and that is this plastic one. I know a lot of you all won't like the plastic one, so it's you can just get a wooden one or a ceramic button. Even a metal button is fine as long as it is not sharp from the inside, or even some other thing which basically allows us to just plug this part, because this Adiyogi Rudraksha has a huge hole, and even when I have multiple threads, you know, as you saw in that video, I had 4 threads, and even with even if I put a large knot, that over time that knot passes through the entire Adiyogi Rudraksha and comes out. So putting a cap like this is a really good option. Obviously, if you want to get it done from a jewelry shop and all, you can. They would have something little bit more specific, but a button works just fine because I put this plastic button and it's been roughly 2 months, maybe more than 2 months, because I didn't want to put a video until I was completely sure about this, and it's just fine. There is no issue at all. So yeah, anyway, since it was top gap, all my threads are kind of hanging out, but I can just put them in. I will also probably change this plastic button and get a smaller, maybe like a wooden button or a ceramic button or something, but for the trial purpose this is fine. So this is basically the correction video of that. If you all saw it and if you all want to try this, putting the Adiyogi Rudraksha on your Adiyogi Rudraksha on this Panchamukhi mala, then you can just use a button. That's all. That was the correction. So I don't know if anybody kind of saw the video and also did it themselves, in which case if it's that metal button, just check that the inside is not cutting your wire. It is cutting the threads directly. It is so sharp, so surprising. But anyway, yeah, great. So this experiment has worked largely. So if you all want to do this as well, you can, because I've been seeing a lot of people are wearing the Adiyogi Rudraksha, but what they do is they either hang it with a separate thread. So they have the Panchamukhi mala and the Adiyogi Rudraksha hanging, or they do something odd and then the mala is there and over here the Rudraksha is hanging down as a separate tie. So it's up to y'all. I mean, I personally prefer this style because anyway the Adiyogi Rudraksha is a Panchamukhi and the mala is also Panchamukhi, so may as well go together. So yeah, that's about it. Namaste.